Hi there everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is a video build guide for the AOS UL8 and UL10 Cine frames. These frames are designed to carry small cinema cameras like the Blackmagic Micro Studio. The frames are very easy to build, but it never hurts to have a few tips and tricks to help out along the way. And I've also put a load of links down in the video description to where you can find more resources for these frames, like recommended parts, 3D prints, tuning guides, things like that. So make sure to check out those links, and everything you need to make your build go smoothly should be in this video and in the links down below. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the build. So we're going to start with the camera cage build. So take the two metal camera cages and place them back to back on the bench like this. And there are two different ways you can assemble this camera cage. If you're building for DJI 03 or DJI 04, you're going to use the soft mount camera plates, which are the ones with the larger hole like this. And you're going to set them up inside the camera cage like this and secure those plates in place with the M2 by 4mm countersunk screws that come in the kit. When you're doing up these screws, just go very gently with them because they're M2 and they're threading into aluminium, so you don't want to strip out anything. You can see that I'm just holding the shaft of the screwdriver rather than the handle so that I don't apply too much torque. So that's the camera cage assembled for DJI 03 or DJI 04. If, however, you're building for another 19mm camera, then you're also going to want to stack on top of those soft mount plates the two hard mount camera plates. And it's up to you to decide which way round you want to put these plates for the camera that you're mounting. You may want the two slots at the back or the two slots at the front. It all depends on exactly what shape the camera is that you're mounting and where its mounting holes are. Once you have those two hard mount plates in place, you're going to secure them with the M2 by 6mm countersunk screws. Obviously the screws need to be a little bit longer because we're going through a double stack of carbon camera plates rather than just a single plate. So just go ahead and secure those with the M2 by 6mm screws from your kit. Exactly the same as before, just take it very gently with the screws because they're M2 and they're threading into aluminium. And that's how the camera plates should look if you've built them for a 19mm camera, obviously making sure that they're symmetric. Now we're going to fit the standoffs to the motor plates. So you'll need M3 by 6mm screws and M3 by 10mm standoffs. Make sure to keep the motor plate in the same orientation when you fit the standoffs. Obviously that's important to make sure the motor wires are going to run the right way. One down, just 3 more to go. Now it's time to start the frame build, and we're going to begin with the arms. And the first thing we need to do is to get the orientation of the motor mounting plates right. Now the idea here is to make sure that when we build the arms, the motor wires from our motors are going to run in towards the flight controller in the middle of the build. So to make sure we get that orientation right, you're going to take each motor mounting plate and you're going to check what direction the motor wires are going to run in. So here the motor wires are kind of going to run down and to the right. So that's going to be a top left plate. And again, this is down and to the right. So that's going to be a top left. We're going to flip that one over. Now the motor wires are running up and to the right. So that can be a bottom left. And the same for this one, up and to the right. So that's going to be a bottom left. Now let's look at the right hand side. So up and to the left, so that's going to be a bottom right plate. Same for that one, up and to the left. And then that one, flip that one over. So that's running down and to the left. And flip that one over. And that one's running down and to the left. So when you lay out the motor plates like this, what you should see is that the motor wires are always going to be running towards the middle of the frame. No matter which position I put the motor in, the wires are running towards the center. That will just help make sure the build is nice and neat and mean that you don't need to disassemble the motor plates to flip them over during the later build. Once you have the standoffs installed on the bottom motor mount plates, you can then go ahead and fit the arms. The arms will just kind of lock in to the bottom plate in the tongue and grooves like this, and then you're going to take the plate for the top and just place it down over the top of the arm. And before you do the screw up now, just double check that the screw holes for the motor mount plates are lined up. This is important because when you're actually attaching your motors, you're going to need to be able to get a driver down through these to screw them up. And it's really useful to be able to have them open like this. So with that done, and just screw together the two plates. One down, just 3 more to go. Now you may decide before building the arm that you want to attach the motors to the motor plates. If you're building an X8, that's going to be required because you're not going to be able to access the motor mounting screws once you've assembled the arm. If, however, you're building an X4, you can actually get a driver completely through this arm to assemble the screws after the arm is fully assembled. So if you're building an X4, you can attach the motors later. If you're building an X8, you need to attach the motors before assembling the arm. Now that we have the 4 arm assemblies assembled, we can put these to one side and start on the main body of the frame. Now it's time to look at the main plate, and the first thing to do is to make sure that you've got the orientation of the main plate correct. So if you run your fingers over the plate, you should be able to feel the press nuts sticking up out of the plate, and that's the top side. So the first thing I'm going to do is install the stack screws. Now these will come with your flight controller and ESC that you've bought, and they'll be the right length for that stack. You're going to want to install them up through the main plate like this, and just run them all the way through until the press nut pinches on the other side, and then just do the same for the other 3. The great thing about having these stack screws reinforced with steel press nuts is that you can tighten them up nice and tight and not be worried about anything stripping out, and also not be worried that your stack is going to move around in the quad, because these stack screws are now absolutely rigidly attached to the main plate. Once you've installed the stack screws, the next step is to install the screws and standoffs all around the outside of the main plate. And for this you're going to need the M3 medium length button head screws and the M3 by 25mm standoffs. These standoffs need to be installed all the way around, and there are 2 standoffs per strut of the arm. So you should have 16 in total. I find the easiest way to install these is just to spin them down by hand, and then to come back at the end with a driver and just tighten them all up. And that's what the plate looks like with all the standoffs installed. Now that you have all the arm assemblies in place, this is the perfect time to assemble everything into your frame, fit all the electronics, do all the soldering, and lay everything out exactly as you want it. But just before you start building all the electronics into the frame, it's worth just test fitting the top plate to make sure that everything is going to go together really, really nicely. And with any of these frames that have these kind of locking tongue and groove arms, there's always a chance that you might want to just take a couple of strokes of a file to these slots to make everything fit together really perfectly. This has gone together absolutely brilliantly. So now I'm ready to, again, take this top plate off, then build everything inside, and then put the top plate back on. Obviously, as this is just a frame build guide, I'm now going to be securing this top plate in place with more of the M3 medium length screws. So this is the top plate assembled, and when you're assembling your top plate onto the frame, just double check that all of the press nuts that are assembled into the top plate, all those press nuts should be underneath the top plate. So the top of the frame should be completely smooth, and you should be able to feel all the press nuts on the underside of the top plate. That will double check that you have it in the correct orientation. Now it's time to install the camera cage. And if you're building for DJI 03, at this point you are going to want to install the silicone gummies that come with your kit to soft mount the 03 camera. And those silicone gummies go with the 2 holes forward. And if you're building for DJI 04, that's a little bit more involved because the 04 has a strange camera mounting. There's a whole separate video that I've done on exactly how to build the DJI 04 camera into any of these frames. So I'll put a link to that down in the video description if you're building for either the 04 Pro or the 04 standard camera. Once you have the camera plates in the right place, you'll want to install the camera and then just assemble the plates into the frame. And you're going to assemble the plates into the frame using the M2 medium length screws in your kit. And there's going to be 2 screws for the top plate and 2 for the bottom plate. At this stage, I honestly wouldn't worry about having the gummies installed. What you will want to know and be aware of is that for DJI 03 and 04 standard, the camera plates go on the inside of the camera cage, and for the 04 Pro camera, the camera plates go on the outside of the camera cage. So you just literally swap the cage over like that so that the camera plates are on the outside. Because everything's symmetrical and identical, it's just super easy to have the camera plates in any orientation and they all work correctly. So don't worry about that at all. I'm going to be building for 03, so I'm going to be installing these cages with the plates facing inwards and just using those M2 medium length screws. As before, just hold the screwdriver by the shaft rather than by the handle so you don't apply too much torque, because these are small screws and they're threading into aluminium. Now we can flip the whole frame over and install the 4 screws on the bottom plate. And with that done, now you can flip the frame back over and we can start working on the cinema mount. With the camera cage installed, if you want to fly this frame with a GoPro, then this build is now finished. But if you want to fly with a slightly larger camera, I'm also going to show you how to install the cinema camera mount onto this frame. For that, we're going to start with the hinge and the M4 countersunk screws in your kit. So you're going to take 2 of these countersunk screws and just thread them through the hinge and into the M4 press nuts in the top plate. Now, a trick with this hinge is that it's a self-centering design, and what that means is that you don't want to do up one of the screws fully before you insert the other one, because then you might find that it doesn't want to fit easily. What you want to do is you want to do up each of the screws loosely, and then you just want to do a 1/4 or 1/2 turn of each screw one at a time, and that will self-center the hinge onto the top plate and it will all go together really, really nicely. Perfect. And you can see that I have the hinge facing backwards so that when I fold it over, it's going to be correct for the camera mount. Next, you're going to take 2 of the threaded cubes and 2 more of the M4 countersunk screws and install the mount under the top plate. So you can see I've just put the countersunk screw through the top plate, and now I'm going to thread it into the threaded cube. There we go, perfect. And then just do the same on the other side. Once those screws are done up, your assembly should look something like this underneath the top plate. Now we're going to do exactly the same procedure with the camera plate. Again, just checking orientation here, the press nuts should be on top with the countersink. So we're just again going to drop a couple of these M4 countersunk screws down through here and thread them into 2 more threaded cubes. There we go. And the next step is to attach the camera plate to the hinge. And for that, we're just going to drop that in there and take 2 more of our M4 countersunk screws, thread them through the hinge, and then screw them into the camera plate. Just like before, it's really helpful to do both screws up loosely and then to do them up bit by bit, one at a time, so that the kind of self-centering design of the hinge pulls everything into place. If you do up one screw completely tightly, you may find the other screw is very difficult to do up and may not go together nicely. And that's just again due to this kind of self-centering and the way that works. Once those screws are done up, you have a fully assembled camera plate. The last step that we need to do is just to install the 2 slides which allow you to control the up tilt. Before we install these slides, it's important just to check the orientation. I find it works best if the little indents, the cutouts that are going to lock the up tilt, are forward, so that when you want to unlock the up tilt, you just kind of move the plate like that. So yeah, have those little cutouts facing forward, and then you're going to screw that into the threaded cube with an M4 by 6mm button head screw. And exactly the same on the other side, again just checking the orientation. And then the final step is to just take your thumb screws, your M4 thumb screws, and that's going to be the final screw that attaches the camera. And with that, the frame build is complete. I hope you found this build guide useful. Make sure to check out the links down in the video description for more resources for your build, like recommended parts, 3D prints and tuning guides. That's all I have for you for today, so until next time, I wish you all very, very happy flying.